Welcome to Civic Spectrum, where communities find their voice. Don't forget to subscribe to stay connected with all our latest discussions and deep dives. Moscow and Tehran's strategy to undermine the sanctions regime. This isn't just your average diplomatic meeting, it's a calculated, hard-edged pushback against Western sanctions. Mishústin will sit down with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, a moment that promises to reshape the power dynamics not only between these two countries, but also in the broader geopolitical chessboard. Large-scale joint projects across the board, from energy to transport and agriculture. But it's the energy sector that's likely to cause the most buzz. Russia, bruised by sanctions over its war in Ukraine, is eyeing Iran's massive oil and gas reserves as a lifeline to outmaneuver the West's stranglehold on its exports. Iran, notorious for flipping off Western sanctions for decades, stands ready to lend Russia a hand and perhaps rewrite the rules of the game in global energy markets. It's bold, it's brazen, and yes, it's controversial. But that's just the start. This isn't just about pipelines or railways. This is about changing the entire equation. Their cooperation in the International North-South Transport Corridor, also known as the INSTC, a trade route bypassing the Suez Canal, could reshape global trade flows. What Russia and Iran are doing is creating a new axis of power, a lifeline that doesn't go through the West, and that's a big deal. This bold shift will send waves through Europe, Asia, and beyond. The West has long weaponized sanctions as a tool to keep rogue states like Russia and Iran in check. But this visit, this alliance, is about turning that script upside down. They're telling the world, you don't need the West to thrive. And while Western capitals will bristle, the question on the table is whether this defiance signals the beginning of the end for sanctions as a meaningful lever of global influence. In other words, Russia and Iran are daring the world to say, now what? Even the transport talks are loaded with subtext. The INSTC, a lifeline for trade linking Russia to Asia via Iran, isn't just about freight and logistics. It's about flipping the bird to Western-controlled routes, like the Suez. Russia wants to rewire global trade, and Iran's location makes it the perfect partner to get around Europe and the US. This is a clear middle finger to Western dominance in international trade routes and infrastructure. But it doesn't stop there. Behind the economic cooperation lurk military and political realities. These two countries aren't just neighbors. They're becoming pillars of a larger anti-Western bloc. Iran's influence in Iraq and Syria, coupled with Russia's presence in the Middle East, sets up a dangerous precedent for a new kind of military partnership, one that directly challenges NATO's grip on the region. Meanwhile, the West, be it Washington, Brussels, or London, will view this meeting as a deliberate provocation to the US and its allies. This isn't just an economic pact. It's the groundwork for a realignment of global power. Russia and Iran are stepping out from the shadows, suggesting that a multipolar world, one that doesn't dance to Western rules, is not only possible, but already taking shape. This is a call to arms for countries under Western sanctions. If Russia and Iran can make it work, who's next? China? North Korea? Venezuela? What's really at stake here is the global order itself. Mishústin's visit to Iran isn't just an olive branch, it's a gauntlet thrown down in the face of the West. By deepening their ties, Russia and Iran are pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable in international relations. They're showing the world that you don't need Western approval to make big moves. Whether this leads to a more balanced global system or kicks off even more conflict depends on how the rest of the world responds. In the end, Mishústin and Pezeshkian's meeting will be seen as a blueprint for how countries can outmaneuver the traditional Western power brokers. This isn't just about deals in energy and trade. It's about rewriting the rules of the game altogether. The lines are drawn. Now, we'll see how far they're willing to go. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. To stay connected with all our latest discussions and deep dives, don't forget to ring the notification bell. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on fresh perspectives and engaging content that keeps you informed and empowered. Together, we can continue exploring the full spectrum of ideas shaping our world.